Hey everybody, it's Ryan and Jesse. We are standing at the bed of my truck. If you guys will remember back to the 100,000 subscriber rewind video, there was a shot where the back of the truck was all dented up. Yes, the Denali had an accident, and I'm here to explain what happened so that you guys can learn from my mistakes, or otherwise, learn from my experiences so that you can try to keep it from ever happening to you. So, I was pulling a trailer, and this was back during replanting, so I was pulling trailers all the time. Here are the two different hitches that I had. Now, I was traveling between farms, and I was pulling the trailer. I was using a ball mount on the hitch. This is the one I was using. It's a class 5, which means that it has a 2.5 inch mounting hole down here. And I didn't want to have a mounting adapter, which is what I'm using now anyway, after my experience. But here's the mounting adapter. I'm using it on this one. This is the one I've been using. This one I'm just keeping for anything that I need to haul with a hitch pin because it is heavier. But I really don't trust putting a ball in it because this one that I bought has little grooves to keep the ball from turning. So I was driving along, you know the deal, when all of a sudden I heard a loud clunk, and I looked back and I saw that there were sparks coming up off the trailer, off the front of off the tongue. And I thought, oh crap, here we go. And I just slowly started applying the brakes because I didn't want to screw up anything on the truck more than what already was screwed up, because when I heard that clunk, it was actually the tongue of the trailer hitting the tailgate. And I knew that the tailgate was already screwed up. So what I did was the front of the trailer was bouncing up and down quite a bit because of the safety chains. And to get stopped, what I did was I just waited for the tongue of the truck or tongue of the trailer to come up off the ground, and I kind of aimed for the tailgate because I knew that it had already had damage. And then I hit the brakes and I just kind of slowly reduced my speed until I got pulled over. And luckily there were actually two gentlemen who helped me. One was a Wagner and the other one was a guy from Steinhardt's, which is a farm service company just out of town here. So thankfully they stopped and helped me and get everything going back to getting going again. One guy actually lended me his hitch because the ball that I had mounted in here was missing. The most I can surmise that what happened, and this is kind of conjecture, mostly because I wasn't too sure. This is the most likely thing. So the ball that I had sat right in this class 5 hitch like this, and I had thought that it fit snug enough. I mean, there really wasn't much play in it at all, but it must have been just enough to make it become loose, because the washer that is down on this ball mount, as you see, this is to keep the nut from coming loose. So there must have been just enough play in there so that the washer wasn't touching enough metal on the hitch to keep the nut from coming loose. And I'm gonna assume that it, over time from turning and all the balancing, that the hitch was turning back and forth when I was turning. And that is where the groove comes in handy on this hitch. It's to keep the ball from turning around. But you can see that the ball that was on here was turning, which is all that rust, which eventually led to the ball coming out. Now I don't have the ball because I lost it somewhere between where I had the accident and here, but the ball was actually sheared, and there really wasn't much left of it. All that was really left was the ball and a little bit of the thread. So I'm going to assume that the play that was in the hitch was just enough to make it come loose. And before I had left, I actually made sure that it was tight with a pipe wrench to make sure that it wouldn't come loose. And I hadn't driven that far. I had checked it just to make sure it was still tight before I left, and lo and behold, it became loose and it came off anyway. I never even felt it become loose or anything. I never felt it bouncing. because that trailer was pretty bouncy anyway. So, and I think I was only going like 35 miles an hour when it came undone. But it's one of those situations where you're thankful that you have a safety chain. Now, I didn't shoot this video right away because I wanted to wait until I got the new tailgate, which I could have left this one on. However, it did hit the truck whenever I tried to open it, and I didn't want to wear a bare spot on the paint or in the metal on the truck. So I just decided, screw it, I'd go and get a new one. Here's the tailgate. There's actually 3 different spots that it's bent from where the trailer hit. The first time was from the original where it had come up, and I am going to take it. This is the one right at the end of my foot. It's what caused the most damage. It's what caused the tailgate to bend, so when I open and close it, it hits the truck. And there's another one right here. I'm going to assume that's from where I had hit the brakes to keep it from bouncing around too much, or so that it would hit the back of the truck. And I'm gonna take it, this is where it kind of settled in, and I used it to stop the trailer. So wasn't much that could really be done. Basically my biggest priority when the accident was happening was just to make sure that I minimized the damage to everything. So I didn't really want to damage the truck too much or the trailer. So it's just one of those things that happens. I didn't really get too excited over it. I mean, these kinds of things happen. I just wanted to make a video on this so that you guys knew, if you ever do this, to try to find a ball that matches the thread size on the hitch. Because I had been exchanging them out, mostly because I was pulling things with different ball sizes rather than just switching out the hitches themselves and keeping one ball in each hitch. So that's the mistakes that were made. I hope you guys can learn from them. I'm not too worried about what happened because these kinds of things happen. And I believe for this tailgate it was only about $600, I think. And everything on it was reusable except for obviously the decals, but all the electronics in here, all the inner workings of the tailgate were still good. The camera's still good. So it really could have been much worse if it had damaged that stuff, but it is what it is. So I hope you guys can learn from that. Thanks for watching this video. Just thought I'd discuss it with you. It rose some questions when I had put it on there and not explained what happened. So thanks for watching this video, guys. Be sure to check out all of our other ones. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. All how farms work, and
we'll see you next time.